welcome to another episode of Booked Up, a TV show featuring the adult collection and programs at the Peters Township Library. I'm Diane, the circulation manager.
And I am Sydney. What do I do?
What's your title?
Program and Outreach Coordinator with Adult Services.
And Mary is back from vacation.
Yes, I'm Mary and I'm head cataloger.
Did you have a good time in Deweyland?
Yes, I was at 914.9232. So I was in the 92s somewhere. And my Dewey nerd friends will know what I'm talking about. And then I took a quick trip in June to 917.43.
That sounds amazing.
917 point.
Yes.
Wow.
Closer to home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Yes, I do. I'm one of her Dewey nerd friends.
Just go to the travel section and browse and you'll figure out what that is. But I'm glad to be back, and I see you have your summer haircut.
I do.
And for good luck during the show today.
That's not necessary. I'm going to complain.
to the circulation manager.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I can't believe it's been a year already since our last Read Local, Eat Local show. So we're going to have a little departure from our regular show and talk exclusively about Read Local, Eat Local.
Yes, so this is the 6th annual-ish Read Local, Eat Local event. We took off for 2020 and 2021, but since coming back in 2022, we've moved Read Local, Eat Local entirely outside. So our the Peters Township Library Foundation pays for large event tents. So we have 3 food trucks and 21 local authors out. So we have some pictures from last year's event that we're going to show you. You can see all 21 of our authors, or I think there might have been 20 because we had a last minute cancellation, in the top left-hand corner. In the top right is Patrick Michael and his wife. So he is a fantasy author. They came dressed up.
That was great.
Yeah. The bottom right was a picture of some of the food trucks, and the bottom left was balloon twisting. So we always have some children's entertainment.
Yeah, the ABC balloon twisting. She's fabulous.
Yeah. And then the next image we have is some details for this year's Read Local, Eat Local 2025. So it is going to be Saturday, September 6th. Our 3 food trucks are wood-stoked barbecue. Their mac and cheese, loaded mac and cheese, super yummy.
Yeah.
And then we have Vea Mexican street food, which super excited about tacos.
Yeah.
And then Millie's homemade ice cream. I know those of us that work that day, we're always thinking about, okay, what am I going to eat for lunch that day? And then what can I take home later for dinner?
That's right. And dessert, we have to start the day with some ice cream.
Of course.
Yeah. But we've never had a barbecue truck or a Mexican street food truck, so it's something different for us. I like to get like a different variety every year. So very excited about this year.
And the public get really excited about it.
Yes.
We get nice turnout.
We do.
And people want to eat their lunch outdoors. And September 6th, that's still summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
We've been so lucky with the weather. We really had beautiful weather. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. So now that we've talked about the food and we're all hungry, we're going to look at our authors for this year. So first we're going to look at our children's authors that we have. So we have 3 children's picture book authors that'll be there. There's Angie Candle. She has the alphabet according to chickens. She also has gardening according to chickens. We have Harvey's Hamburgers by Michelle D'Amico, and then Morgan Wants to Build, and that's by Morgan Young. And then Octopi and the Missing Egg, I think there's actually 2 books in that series by Sarah McDavis, and that's more of like a beginning chapter book for young readers that are becoming more independent.
Are the other 3 more picture books?
Yes, they are. And then I have another one. So this one is actually in our juvenile collection, and this book is written by 2 authors. So it is by Christina Ruvalis and Lydia Wayman, and it is called Snoopers and Sneakers. So this is actually about some kids, their teacher gets arrested for a crime, and they're like, oh crap, we have a terrible substitute now, so we have to figure out what happened. And the main character also has autism, so there's a lot of great things in here as well to help demystify some of the things that kids might be experiencing, and also addresses themes like bullying and mental health. So So she'll be here.
Okay, good one.
And now we're going to look at our adult authors. Yeah. So our next slide has 4 books by local authors that write for adults. So In and Out of the River by Benjamin Thomas Minute. The main character in this, whenever he's a baby, he got tossed into a river and left for dead, and he was pulled out and adopted by someone in the local coal mining town. So it takes place in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And he left the town to go make himself something, and then now his adopted father is going to pass away, so he has to go back to that town. So it's a lot of themes about like coming back home and trying to reconcile these two parts of yourself.
Okay. And then the next author is C.L. Holzapfel. Oh, you're going to have to help me with this again. Holzapfel. Chris is a local South Park resident, and he has a background in archaeology and anthropology. He's published 2 books so far in the series that he's going to be bringing, the Alan Penbrook series, and he has described it as kind of a mix of Indiana Jones meets Lara Croft with the feel of Dan Brown. So the first book in the series is called Place of Fright, A Race to the Maya Underworld. So, I mean, if you like some excitement, it sounds like it could be a good fit.
Yep. Next up, we have Bethany Barker, which is Carol Silvis writing as Bethany Barker. Carol Silvis has published college textbooks, which probably impacted this book because the main character in A Book Club's Guide to Murder and Mayhem also writes college textbooks and finds herself in the throes of murder in the small, quaint town where she lives, and then her book club gets involved.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Well, The Bald-Faced Deception is Jodine Weber's first book. She is a retired FBI agent and the host of a popular true crime podcast called Caught in My Web, which I have to say I have been listening to, and it's very interesting.
Oh,
yeah, it definitely keeps your attention.
There's a lot of material to fall back on,
yes.
doesn't she?
So The Bald-Faced Deception is a mystery thriller, and it's set in the Finger Lakes region of New York and tells the story of Lindsay and her search for her missing husband. And in her search, she kind of discovers some of the secrets of her small lakeside community.
Everyone and their small town secrets.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at our next slide. So we have The 12 Swipes of Christmas by Elizabeth Metzler. I also have another book of hers with me. So she does fun little romances. So this one's The Power Move. So if you're into modern romances, this is a puck bunny. Is what they call the hockey romances.
I had no idea. I'm going to have to try to work that into
Wait
some
a minute,
conversations.
so is a puck bunny a woman fan?
Yes, would be it. She's kind of like the antithesis of that because she hates him whenever they first meet, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's a hockey player. They're the worst." But I'm still, because it's a hockey theme, I'm gonna throw it in there with Puck Bunny. At least she was until a Puck for Brains hockey player hits her car on move-in day. So, and to make matters worse, he's the definition of yummy.
How does that make things worse?
This is really cute. I've started this one, but haven't quite finished it yet. But it's also available on, who was it on Hoopla? I can't remember. No, I think this one, Book Club Guide to Murder Mayhem, was on Hoopla.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Hoopla.
there you go. So let's go back to our slide and see who we have next.
Yeah, so Kimberly Miller is the author of 13 romance novels. Her newest book, Completely Carolyn, is book 2 in her series, The Board. Kimberly's books are wholesome and inspirational reads. And the series, The Board, sounds really cute. It's about finding love later in life with the help of her well-meaning board. They call themselves The Board, and they have rules for dating. And it just sounds adorable. She also has another series, The Russo Family, that has great reviews. The book that we're highlighting here, Picking Daisies, is a very nice, sweet, inspirational romance.
I really like these covers. You know, I wanted to say they all look really professionally done, because very often self-published books, and a lot of our Read Local authors are self-published. They're not published by major national publishers, but these are really nice looking covers.
I have another fun looking cover for you in my hands too, from our next author, Jamie Lackey. So up on the screen we have her book, The Forest God, and in my hand I have Toil and Trouble. It is a Pride and Prejudice retelling.
All right.
Oh,
So it is LGBTQA plus fantasy retelling of the Jane Austen novel, where Lizzie and Mary Bennet were raised by their witch after their mother traded them away to ensure that her next child would be a boy. So I love the color of this one. So Jamie Lackey was at the library in a month that was recent, in March.
Okay.
We did a fantasy and sci-fi author panel, and so Jamie was part of that. So she'll be back for Read Local, Eat Local this year. Yeah, excited to have her back. She's had some new releases since she was here in March as well.
Okay. Well, Lexi Kingston is a self-proclaimed romance junkie and the author of 11 romance novels. Has Lexi been with us before?
Yes.
Okay, that's why she sounded so familiar. Her latest book is book 1 in the Lonely Melodies series. That Girl and This Guitar is a roommates to lovers, sweet, not spicy, love story featuring a brooding musician and a first-time actress. Besides her romance novels, she's also written a paranormal vampire series called Nightfall, and so you see that one on the slide. So it really is something for everyone.
Well, musicians I've noticed often brood, and so do poets.
That's right.
For some reason.
Musicians, poets, vampires. Okay, we have 5 more adult fiction authors left that Diane and I are going to talk about.
So Liz Milron, Milliron. Okay.
Oh, so it is Milliron. You know,
Yeah,
that is a great
yes.
southwestern
Oh,
Pennsylvania name. You've got the steel mill, or it's in this case an iron mill.
She wasn't
Perfect
bored
name.
with it. That's her pin name. She chose it. She chose
there
a
goes
good
that.
name.
Very, very smart of her.
Yeah.
So she is an author that we've hosted in the past. Her Laurel Highlands mystery series has been really popular with patrons. That goes out all the time. The series has 7 books, and the main character is a Pennsylvania State Trooper, Jim Duncan. Her latest book, The Lives We Live, is book 6 in the Homefront mystery series, and that's set in the 1940s and features Betty Ahern as a private detective during World War II. The series follows Betty as she takes on and investigates cases, kind of like a Sam Spade female.
Who's Sam Spade?
Oh, be quiet.
Okay, sorry. Next we have Sean D. Gregory, and I'm not saying we choose authors based on their pets' names, but if we did, John Gregory's puggle named Sweaty Betty the Spaghetti Yeti would definitely be up there. So Sean has started his God Killers trilogy. So the first 2 books are out, and it is an adult fantasy. So he has a background in mechanical engineering from the Ohio State University. No offense to anyone who went to the Ohio State University. But, you know, if you're into D&D and Tolkien, and he's a big fan of Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, Star Trek, so you might enjoy some of these fantasy books by him. So it's a series. So again, it's book 1 and book 2 in the series.
I also wanted to go back and say something about Liz's book that we actually have highlighted there. Shattered Sight features a Niagara Falls homicide detective, Jackson Davis, and it kind of touches on some subjects of PTSD and trauma. So after he's involved with an explosion that injures his partner, it kind of goes to him trying to go back to work and dealing with the trauma from that accident and his PTSD. So,
well, that's fun.
So Sarah McKnight, and we go on. Sarah writes both YA and adult novels. She was a Read Local, Eat Local author back in 2023, but since her last visit, she's written 5 new books.
Woo!
Oh my
Busy.
goodness.
Yes. And her most recent book, Coffee, Tea, or Me, is a sapphic romance novel, so
Aw.
LGBTQ friendly, set in a coffee shop in a college town. It's just a very sweet story. It has a little dash of spice in there. But among her 16 other books, she's also written a series of 3 books called The Reaper Chronicles, which we do have all 3, and they all go out.
Yes.
It's really a change of pace. It tells the story of Grim Reaper number 2497, and he's struggling to fulfill his quota of 30 random deaths while he's still trying not to lose the last traces of his humanity. And it was really interesting.
That's a neat
I kind
concept.
of got into that. Yes.
And next we have Justin D. Bello. So he is also a fantasy author. The Gift of the Guardians is his first book. So he is an English teacher, and he enjoys making worlds where characters who struggle to fight for good, even when faced with seemingly insurmountable evil, in a kind of ambiguous world. So if you're into things like that, then this might be one that interests you.
And our last fiction book, last fiction book that we are going to talk
Yes.
about, A Thousand Tiny Stitches, is Stephanie's first novel. It's an emotional and inspiring novel of hope and perseverance set in Western PA. When Lily's daughter and son-in-law are killed in an accident, Lily takes custody of her 8-year-old granddaughter. It's a story of love, grief, and hard work as Lily tries to bring her daughter's dream of owning a quilt shop into fruition. I read the first few chapters and really enjoyed it. Like for any of the books, if you are interested in coming to Read Local, Eat Local, I would encourage you to look up the book on Amazon, and oftentimes you can read the sample, which is the first, could be the first chapter. For that book, I think it was the first 2 chapters, and by that time I was like, why do we not own this book yet?
Yeah. And speaking of owning books, and I know that Mary still has a few she's going to talk about, we have ordered books to have at least 1 book by each author on our shelves. Unfortunately, our book supplier has been a little slow on the uptake, so we are still waiting for some of those books. But we will have our display in the lobby today after this recording.
We've had a lot of delay this summer, so I don't know what the issues are, what's at the root of that. But as soon as they hit my desk, we try to push them out to the masses, the hungry masses who want these books. And Read Local, Eat Local will take a priority. So we'll get those out to you when we can. Now this year, we don't have as many nonfiction books in Read Local, Eat Local as we did last year. But at least let me show you what I can. First is Grab Life by the Bungees by Dianne H. Nettles. Dianne is a retired college professor and department head at Cal U. Now it's known as Pennsylvania Western University. I can't get used to that.
No.
Unfortunately, Dianne lost her husband of 39 years unexpectedly, and she wrote this book as a self-help guide to women who are trying to survive a similar loss. The subtitle of the book states, "And 50+ other ways to find humor, hope, and happiness after your partner has died." The author's emphasis is on optimism to get through this. It would be extremely hard to feel optimistic when this happens to you. But she really focuses on the healing power of humor. Gets herself into all kinds of humorous situations as she's...
And it's written very accessibly. Like one part's all about, going out to eat or holidays after your partner has died.
Yeah,
very practical
things.
Things not just all internally, but, interactions with other people too. And she doesn't like the W word. Widow. She calls them woman whose partner died, I think, or person whose partner died for it. So, yeah.
So a positive book for a tough subject. And the next one should be coming up on your screen, Design for Your Mind by Annie Guest. Annie shows how she drew on her background as a mental health therapist to renovate her house and recharge her life after years of family caregiving. So she served as a caregiver for a long time. That's very draining. You're putting yourself last, that sort of thing. So once you're not doing that anymore, you could probably look around at your house and say, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I have neglected my house.
Right.
She takes us through her process room by room, always with an eye to pursuing the purpose of the room, but to also look at its potential to support creativity, calm, and comfort, and to promote healthy living. I think she believes that, when you come home, it should feel like home. It should be the comfort of home. So she shows how she achieved big results without spending a fortune. That's important.
Yeah.
Super
Decorating is very expensive, and the price of furniture is going up due to tariffs and that sort of thing. So the library has many decorating books in our collection already, but we don't have one with this specific focus. So this will be a good addition.
Definitely a unique take.
Yeah,
on it.
go to 747 in the stacks. Gotta
Ding,
slip,
ding, 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 ding.
gotta slip in a Dewey number there. Go to 747 in the stacks and check out our decorating books.
Have you had a chance to look through that one?
It hasn't
No,
come
we
in
haven't,
yet.
we haven't received it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it
so-
has lots of pictures. Those are my
I
favorite
think it
kind
does.
of design
Looking
books.
at Amazon, again, you can preview through sites like that and take a look inside. And and I think it's available as a hardcover and also as a paperback already. Then there's a couple of fiction books here, but they had some nonfiction elements, so these were given to me to talk about. When the Only Light is the Moon is the new book by author Rita Wilson. It's actually a work of romance fiction, but it has strong nonfiction elements, including the characters go to Greece, I think, at some point in the book, so it becomes more like a Greek travelogue with all those details. And it features Greek food almost like a supporting character throughout. So that sounds yummy, and you'll be hungry after you've read it. We've heard that Rita will also be bringing a previous book to Read Local, Eat Local that's entitled Greek Lessons, and it is nonfiction. It's a memoir of her immigrant ancestors from previous generations who emigrate here and cope with the adjustment to life in Pittsburgh. So I guess they learned to say yuns at some point.
I am also still adjusting.
It's the
to
land. It's
life
the land.
in Pittsburgh.
A long time ago, there used to be a slogan for Pittsburgh. It was Pittsburgh Someplace Special. And a local newspaper columnist made up other slogans because the town was actually considering a new slogan. And my favorite one was Pittsburgh, the land of the dropped infinitive. Because nobody in Pittsburgh says to be in a sentence when they just say the car needs washed. They don't say the car needs to be washed.
Yeah, we don't like to waste words.
And even educated Pittsburghers do that. So gotta watch out for that. And another fiction that Dianne recommended to me that you see on your screen is The Scandalous Madden Sisters by Megan C. Benedict. Dianne knows I love historical fiction. This one takes place in Pittsburgh's Irish Catholic enclave, Lawrenceville, in the early 1900s. It centers on 5 sisters who struggle through love, loss, and the societal upheaval of the time. And it's been praised by critics for its writing and historical accuracy. So she really did her research on this book and brings us back to that time. And be aware that the library flags the books of local authors with she has one right on the spine here, but you'll see it on the screen. A Pennsylvania author label, which is a yellow label with the outline of the state on it. So even if the book isn't featured at Read Local, Eat Local, you can still pick these out on the library shelf. So if you really get hooked on fiction that's set in Western Pennsylvania, for example, you can look for that in the stacks. And while you're at Read Local, Eat Local, be sure to visit the Peters Township Library Foundation's table. And I think we're going to show them as well and give them their due. It's their generous donations that are funding the tents and all other expenses for this event. And while you're at Read Local, Eat Local, you can talk to foundation members about our upcoming Novel November program featuring S.A. Cosby. S stands for Sean and A stands for Andre. His latest book is shown there on the screen for you, King of Ashes. We have a display in the lobby in the library. We have all of his previous books. So King of Ashes is his 5th book, and the genre of fiction that he writes in is crime fiction. Crime fiction, mystery and detective fiction is the most popular category of fiction checked out.
These books are so good. I'm trying to like keep from reading the last one until right before he's here, but I've gone through all of the others in the last month. They are so good.
And tickets for those will be on sale at the start of September, usually after Labor Day. So they'll be on sale online. You can sign up right now at ptlive.org/SACosby to get a reminder for whenever tickets go on sale.
And he's going to speak at the high school auditorium again.
Yes.
Nice big new venue, so great place to be. But that genre of crime fiction, it's not just our library, it's pretty much every library in the country. That's the type of fiction that goes out the most. So please stop in and get one of his books.
We also do raffle baskets at Read Local, Eat Local. So if you go around and see all the authors, they can sign or stamp your sheet, and then you can enter to win raffle baskets at the end, which are purchased by the Library Foundation. But we're almost out of time, so thanks for coming with us today. We're closed on Labor Day.
Don't forget, when you get to Read Local, Eat Local, don't forget to check in at one of the tents.
Yes.
Because that's where you
Big
will
red tent.
receive your program and also your
little
bingo
passport.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're still with us, thank you. So we'll be back in a couple of months, and we'll be back on track talking
With
about
your regularly scheduled program.
Yes, and we'll try to drag Dianne back here with us next time. So the library is open Mondays through Fridays from 9 a.m.
Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Friday,
Thank
Saturday,
you.
9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Closed Sundays. I remember that part.
We're always open online.
Always open. Visit us
Diane's on
online.
vacation. Her brain is on
At
vacation.
ptlibrary.org. Thanks, and we'll see you at the library.
Okay, bye.